One of my biggest breakthroughs in physical therapy in my last 25 years is the treatment of the thoracic spine, which is the middle of your spine, through exercise and strength. I was originally thought that the thoracic spine is a place where things don't move so much and it's not an important part of your strength. What I found out over the years is a lot of people, when asked to move their thoracic spine, which is the middle of your spine, and I'm talking from basically from here to here, I found that the movement and the strength in those areas are really weak. And what ends up happening is if the thoracic spine is weak or stiff, your neck above and your lower back below have to do a lot of work. And because those nerves in your neck and your lower back are so sensitive to a lot of movement and different motions of your head and your legs, those areas can be irritated and you get pain in your arms or pain in your legs or just pain in your neck and your lower back. So one of the things I've learned so well to do over the years of practice is to incorporate mobility and strength of the thoracic spine or the middle of your spine. Well, let's think about this for a second. If you have something up here in your neck and something down here in your lower back that are very sensitive to mobility and strength and possibly pain if they're done wrong, why don't we support it by taking the thing in the middle, which is right here, and support it with good strength and good mobility. So today, I want to show you guys a simple strengthening exercise you can do as part of your routine to help the thoracic spine. And as it kind of moves through the different motions of the spine, the thoracic spine has a fundamental importance in how it operates for the body. The thoracic spine supports all your organs with the rib cage and is centerpiece of the body, right? So the main functionality of the thoracic spine is the ribs, and the ribs itself focus on supporting the structures underneath it, which are the organs, the gut, the heart, the lungs, etc. Technically speaking, the thoracic spine wasn't built for mobility and strength, but like every other part of your body, it has a fundamental muscle system and has a fundamental nerve system and has joints and bones that move. So we want to make sure that we address these areas and make sure it's a real strong aspect of your body. So I'm going to show you one exercise today that you can do at the gym, and even if you can't do it at the gym, we have a version of it that uses a TheraBand that you could hang up on a pole or you could hang up on anywhere in your house perhaps and do the same exercises. Okay, so let's go over it. So here I have a simple pulley device system. And again, any of these exercises, if they cause any pain or discomfort, then you shouldn't be doing them. This is a simple one. You get yourself into a position that's further away. You get the weight off the stack, so you're here. And this one's going to be working on, I mean, a lot of the golfers, by the way, do try to work on exercises like this. And the question is, ultimately, how do you do this exercise safely for the thoracic spine? You are going to get some neck mobility and lower back mobility, but the reality of it is because your arms are going through this motion, you're getting a rotation of that thoracic spine. So here you are, very much like a golfer motion or a baseball motion. You're going to get your hips to rotate as well. So it's pretty functional in that you're turning your body and you're rotating backwards, right? So, you know, if you think about this with your head, you're turning to the back seat of your car, you're looking behind yourself, right? Again, make sure as you do the motion outward, you exhale. So, and the key thing here is that no pain. Make sure that when you're doing it, you're not jerking upward the weight. You don't want to hike up your shoulders too much. You really want to keep your body lined up pretty well and have that middle of your spine moving and working through the process. You'll get the core to fire as well on it because as you're turning your body, this part of your musculoskeletal system is going to contract. So people ask me, why don't you turn your head, right? There's nothing wrong with turning your head, but as you do the exercise and you turn your head, you get this kind of motion, right? Which is not bad for your spine. But actually, if your head is straight and your neck is straight, essentially, and your spine is straight, you want to isolate this motion So this part of your body from up here down here is moving, right? So there's variations of this. You can actually turn your head or not turn your head, but when I was doing the exercise, I'm trying to get that focus where my middle of my spine is the player. Those are the muscles that are working, right? Now, if I turn my neck, nothing wrong with that at all, but you can see here now my neck is engaged. That's important to consider if you want to use your neck. It's more functional. But if you want to isolate more of that middle of the spine, you can do it with that exercise. Now, another variation of this, simple. You could raise the weight stack up. Now you're at a different position, right? Your spine and your arms are here, higher up, and you have rotation here. This is actually going to be harder because you're not leveraging as much as when you're lower, you're leveraging more of the upward mobility of the muscle in your shoulders. Here, you're really getting that spine to be right there. You'll feel it right in the side of these muscles right here as the spine starts to rotate this way and this way. These ribs are up here. You may not feel it so much in the ribs, but you'll feel it in these oblique muscles on the side of your body. Another variation of this, which again, you don't need a fancy stack or gym equipment to do this, but you just have a band. Again, going back to the old Amazon band, 2 handles, you could hold the handles like this. So you have like almost like a hook there, and you're going, again, side to side. People ask you, or ask me, is it okay for me to feel it in my legs, my calf muscles, or my hips? It's totally fine, right? Because what we're trying to achieve here is mobility and strength, but at the same time, it's a functional activity. You know, the question is, are you going to stand and turn when you're 85 years old to get something? Of course you are. So the point of it is that you want to strengthen toward function. So this is a great exercise to do that with. Sometimes you can take a band here if you want to just kind of not hold on to it with 2, and you could just going to make it longer. You can go further out. I'm just showing you guys an example here with the band being a little shorter. You know, you have a 2 band here. Some bands don't have handles. You don't need the handles, right? But the handle does come in handy when you're doing it against a pole like that. But it just goes to show that you don't need a very fancy way of doing it. Just a simple resistance band can get the job done. Good thing about the resistance bands, you can kind of elevate it higher pretty easily and lower and get different angles. And again, with this exercise, you're gonna feel it in your feet, you can feel it in your ankles, your hips, your sides, you know, you might even feel it in your lower back. Those are all fine. I mean, you're really trying to achieve a functional strengthening movement, which with the band and you have resistance, you're gonna get strength from it, okay? And if there's any pain or discomfort when you're doing any of these activities, just take a step back and go back to the table exercises in my last video, start working on those and build up ultimately to something like this, where you're using a band. And if you can't do the band, there's nothing wrong with just starting here and just starting to work on this kind of mobility exercise, right? So you're just doing a simple mobility exercise here. If you want to grab like a 1 pound weight or even like a can of soup or something and hold it in your hand or hold it in both hands and just kind of turn this way and this way, it's perfectly fine. You're starting on a way to start increasing your strength from very baseline going forward, and you're developing good core strength, good thoracic mobility, good thoracic strength. And again, remember to breathe throughout the whole process, because your ribs and your thoracic spine are all your ribs and your thoracic spine are very tied to your breathing, because the lungs are right there. I'm Dr. Vinod, and thank you for watching this video. If you like the content, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification buttons for further content.